Hey, Marcus Hale here. Papoose, you might want to check your page because something feels off right now. Someone is going back and forth with women, throwing insults, body shaming, and questioning intelligence, which doesn't match your usual vibe at all. It honestly seems like someone else may have gotten access and started posting without thinking. People are already noticing and talking, with some even suggesting Claressa Shields might be involved. But either way, it's coming across as messy, loud, and very out of character for you. People online are reacting quickly, and the situation is starting to look like a full-blown spectacle. Even though this is being discussed in a boxing space, hip-hop history still plays a big role here. Papoose built his reputation on real respect within hip-hop culture, especially among those who truly value it. He was never mainstream, but his credibility ran deep, including strong respect from women as well. Now, with all this chaos attached to his name, people are beginning to reconsider what they thought they knew, and his image is clearly shifting in a negative direction as the situation continues to spark heavy discussion.
You know what? Keep Claressa Shields' name out y'all motherfucking mouth. You bitches can't fight like me. Y'all can't squabble. You can't squabble like the growth. You can't squabble like the growth.
This really isn't a good look at all. People have been watching the situation between Claressa Shields and Alicia Baumgardner unfold, and it's been nothing but ongoing tension. Every remark seems to trigger another, and it quickly turns into a back and forth that keeps escalating instead of settling down.
Don't waste the time. You look stupid. Yeah, bitches popping their off fight weed. Like y'all really.
Here's what's confusing people. Alicia Baumgardner has a fight this Friday against Shin that should be the main focus, but instead the spotlight has shifted to Claressa Shields repeatedly calling her out and fueling the drama. It's pulling attention away from the actual bout and turning things into ongoing personal exchanges. Online, people are questioning why the focus isn't staying on the fight and why any real tension isn't being addressed with Remy Ma instead. Overall, it's creating a messy picture where boxing discussions keep turning into personal attacks that don't belong in the ring. And as the conversation keeps growing louder, people online are even joking that it only took something as simple as a date to fix everything, with comments like, "I took you to Red Lobster, let's talk about it." That kind of talk is now spreading and adding more fuel to the situation, turning serious issues into something people are mocking across the internet. In the end, it all feels like things are spiraling too fast, with emotions running high and instant reactions making it harder to regain control once everything is already public. At the heart of it, people are simply saying that everyone deserves a partner who genuinely supports and uplifts them. No question about it, not just about status or connections, but also about how someone carries themselves and the image they project. Because like it or not, the person you're linked with often becomes a reflection of you, and their actions tend to follow your name. Right now, when people hear Papoose, they think of Claressa Shields, and when they hear Claressa Shields, they think of Papoose. Their names have become closely tied, making it hard to separate one from the other. At this point, that connection can either strengthen their image or bring more scrutiny, depending on how things continue to play out publicly.
Track or playing tracks in the back while y'all working out and then go out there and look stupid. Y'all embarrassed. Man, y'all embarrassed everybody in y'all motherfucking self.
The real question people are asking right now is simple. What are we actually focusing on at this point? The music or the drama? Because lately, the attention doesn't seem to be on new tracks, freestyles, or albums that are making any real impact. Instead, the conversation has shifted elsewhere, and not in a way that adds much to the legacy people once respected. If you look closely, are fans really checking for new Papoose projects like they used to? Are people still excited for releases, breaking down lyrics and replaying freestyles on repeat? Or has that energy faded? Or is most of what's being discussed now coming from situations like this instead? That's the main conversation online today, and it's clearly changing how everything is being viewed. Right now, the conversation around Papoose isn't really centered on his music anymore, and even Claressa Shields and her upcoming fight aren't getting the full attention they deserve, which is where the issue starts. With their names constantly being linked together, the focus shifts away from what they actually excel at and turns into background noise instead of highlighting their real accomplishments. At this point, it almost feels like both are beginning to lose a bit of their individual identity because of how publicly connected everything has become. Claressa Shields is still an elite top-tier fighter without question, but even her dominance in the ring isn't the main topic lately, as the attention keeps drifting away from her actual achievements and what she continues to prove as a champion. And when it comes to Papoose man-to-man, this situation isn't really helping how people are viewing him. Once things start playing out publicly like this, It naturally brings up questions about communication, respect, and how much control there really is behind the scenes. When private boundaries are spoken about but the public actions don't seem to match, people immediately notice that disconnect and start wondering whether everything is actually aligned or just happening in the moment without much coordination. On top of that, money-related posts like the $3 million bonus in my account comments only add more intensity to an already heated discussion, with some people interpreting it as a sign of independence while others see it as adding fuel to the ongoing narrative. Others are reading it as a broader message being sent, and from there the narrative keeps growing and getting more complicated. At the same time, there's ongoing talk about business links, percentages, and whether certain claims are being misunderstood or even understated. All of this back and forth is fueling more speculation and pulling attention further away from what originally established their reputations. She has also publicly stated that Papoose doesn't receive any money from her, making her position clear. However, it hasn't stopped people from questioning the situation, especially those pointing out that if any form of business connection or behind-the-scenes arrangement exists, it naturally raises questions about how everything is actually structured and how it functions in reality. Then people hear talk about him supposedly covering major expenses like a mortgage, and it immediately leads to questions about the numbers. If there's real financial stability involved, why are payments like that still ongoing, and why not fully own everything outright? The same confusion comes from the lifestyle that's shown publicly, where luxury shopping, jewelry, and high-end spending are visible, yet at the same time, recurring costs like car notes still surface. From an outside perspective, it creates a contrast that doesn't quite line up, and once those questions start forming, they tend to spread quickly and turn into even more speculation and debate. Now the situation becomes more confusing, because on one hand, it's suggested that he handles several major financial responsibilities, while on the other hand, it's also being said clearly that he doesn't take any money from her at all. That contradiction is what keeps people speculating and trying to connect points that may not actually align. It naturally raises more curiosity about where his income is really coming from, whether it's music, public appearances, or business ventures that aren't fully visible to the public. The lack of clarity only adds to the discussion, and once finances are mentioned openly, it usually pushes people to dig deeper and read into things, even beyond what was originally intended. Now things are getting even more complicated because whenever money is brought into the conversation, people naturally start digging deeper into it. She's speaking about what's in her own account, but the way it's being framed makes some wonder if there are any shared financial connections being hinted at, and that's where the speculation begins. Repeated statements like "that money is in my account" push people to start connecting dots that may not actually be connected at all. From there, some begin guessing about possible financial arrangements or misunderstandings and how everything is being explained. But at the end of the day, these are just online assumptions, not confirmed facts. On top of that, ongoing talk about splits, percentages, and how any deals might be structured keeps the discussion active and continues to fuel more and more speculation. People start building entire scenarios around how the money is moving, who might be getting what, and why certain things are being presented publicly the way they are. None of that is confirmed, but once these ideas hit social media, they spread fast and quickly start taking on a life of their own. As the noise grows, attention gets pulled even further away from what should actually matter, like the fights, the competition, and the performances themselves. Instead of the focus staying on training camps and upcoming matchups, the spotlight shifts toward personal and financial speculation, which easily clouds the bigger picture. At the end of the day, if Claressa Shields is preparing for a major moment, fans expect that attention to stay locked in on the sport, with narratives and call-outs aligned more with what happens inside the ring than outside of it. Right now, the conversation is scattered everywhere, with fans debating almost everything except what actually happens inside the ring. Some are focused on potential physical advantages certain opponents might have, while others argue the real challenge is mental pressure, especially with everything unfolding publicly under constant scrutiny. At the same time, the online activity is adding another layer of confusion as posts and replies are making people question who is actually behind the account. It has even gotten to the point where some say it doesn't sound like him at all, which only deepens the uncertainty in an already noisy situation. This kind of confusion only makes an already complicated situation feel even more out of control. In a case like this, the immediate move would usually be to secure everything properly, change passwords, protect all accounts, and close off any possibility of further errors or outside access. Once your public image starts getting shaped by moments like these, it becomes increasingly difficult to manage or pull back the narrative that's already spreading online. At this point, the real question becomes what people actually think is happening behind all of it. If you have an opinion, drop it in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and share it so the discussion continues.